Hi Nina, hi Ariana, hi Heaven, hi Cassius. I'm Diane. You know that I am Cassius's mother. So far we've met twice, but some of you weren't able to make it to our group. And I don't want you to be left out. I want to make sure you have the information that you need so that you can make the decisions that you need to make before I see you the next time. I'm looking forward to seeing you on next Tuesday so that we can meet our big goal, which is to, does anybody know? Our big goal is to create a Brooklyn business, a kid run Brooklyn business, because you guys are awesome and you have lots of really great ideas. And I want to take some of those ideas and turn them into a business that you could create for yourself. So, our goal this week is to simply decide, what kind of business do you want to make? It sounds like a fairly simple thing to decide, but I want you to give it a lot of thought, and I want you to not make the decision too quickly, because I want you to answer a lot of questions about yourself and about what you think you might want to do, and then I want you to make the decision. So, this week's goal is to simply decide the type of business that you want to make. Let's think of some examples of different types of businesses. So, I have them listed on the sheet. You'll find it in our group folder. So, some of the examples would be a dog walker, a lemonade stand, an author. Someone in this group writes, or they want to write, or they like to write. A jewelry maker. I know that Cassius has made some jewelry. I know that other kids have made jewelry. A music writer who likes music. A poet, a copywriter, a game designer. Cassius likes to design games. I know that for sure. I'm sure that somebody else in this group maybe likes to design games or likes to play games, which can translate to being a game designer. Paper airplanes, maybe. Who likes to make paper airplanes? You could make that into a business. You could come up with really interesting paper airplanes. None of these ideas are the ideas that you have to go with, but they're ideas that exist, ideas that people have tried, ideas that you could try, or you could come up with an idea that is completely to yourself, something that no one else has done and it's completely your idea, or just an idea that maybe has been done but isn't necessarily on this list. So other ideas are, you could be a crafter. If you have something that you're really good at making, you could turn that into a business. You could be an artist. If you are really good at drawing, you could draw. You could illustrate a book. You could turn your drawing into some other type of business. You could be a gardener if you really like to plant things, or if you like to play in the soil or be outside. You could be a baker if you are somebody who likes cookies and you like to make your own cookies or something like that. If you go through our list, through all of our articles that we printed out, there are a couple of bakers. You could be a fashion designer. You could be an inventor. Inventors are really cool. You could also be a seasonal designer. A seasonal designer is someone who does things like they make Christmas ornaments and they sell them for Christmas, or they make Halloween costumes and they sell their Halloween costumes. An artist may be able to make seasonal type items and then sell them through a website called Etsy, which is for handmade items. Or an artist could simply make their own type of art and sell that through a website like Etsy. There are lots of different ways to do this. None of these are the right way exactly. Every person who comes up with their own idea will come up with their own plan, and I will help you do that. So, those are examples of different ways, of different types of businesses that we've talked about, or that you might talk about with each other. So before you start, you need to learn some vocabulary, some words, so that you understand. They're like business words, so that you understand exactly what type of business you want to make. The first word is entrepreneur. What is an entrepreneur? An entrepreneur is someone who works for themselves. They don't have a boss, they are the boss. So if you walk into a store and you see someone selling things, they probably have a boss. The person who is selling things is not an entrepreneur. They work for someone else. But the person who runs the store that person works for, that person is an entrepreneur. A product. Product is a word that you need to know because you will need to decide whether you want to create a product or a service. A product is a thing. It can be a new thing or it can be an old thing that's packaged differently. So, a new thing would be something that an inventor might make. It doesn't have to necessarily be a very complicated invention. It might just be a problem that you see that you want to have solved, and you come up with a good idea for how to solve that. That makes you an inventor, someone who creates something from scratch, something brand new, or something that hasn't been seen the way that you're doing it. A service is when you pay someone to do something for you. Like we sometimes pay someone to mow our yard because we don't always have time to do it. And generally, when you pay someone for a service, it makes your life easier. But it's a job for the other person, so they have to be paid to do that job instead of you doing it for yourself. So, entrepreneur works for themselves. A product is a thing that can be designed. A service is something that you do for other people and they pay you to do that. Profit. Profit is the amount of money that you make when you start a business and you think about all the things it takes for you to make that business. There is your time and all of the supplies that it takes. If you have a cupcake business, then there's the amount of time that it takes for you to make the cupcakes. There's all of the supplies for making the cupcakes. There is where you will sell your cupcakes if you have to pay for it. Once all of that is paid for, and then you've paid your employees, any money that you make outside of that is profit.